22 jobs, one at a time. This is Backlog Buster's Final Fantasy V Single Job Challenge series. The core rule is to only use the assigned job. I'll be forced to go jobless using Freelancer until the assigned job becomes available. As soon as the job unlocks, I'll switch out of Freelancer and be locked into that job for the rest of the game, for better or for worse. I'll be doing my best to see the majority of the optional content, but it's going to depend on the individual job for some of it. As an additional challenge, I'm going to try and beat the game at as low a level as possible, and to minimize grinding, though some grinding is likely inevitable. Other than that, there are no restrictions. All equipment, game mechanics, and strategies are available to beat the game and see the credits. Working through that lengthy list one by one, this time I'll be playing Mime, the final water crystal job. Unfortunately, the Mimes shard syncs with the walls tower. That means I can't even get it until I unlock the submarine in the merged world. Since I have to play most of the game as Freelancer, this is going to be a self-contained double feature. I'll be freelancing until I can unlock Mime, then I'll fork my save. At which point, I will switch to Mime, beat the remnants of the game, then swap back and finish this challenge series with Freelancer. As I work my way up to the Wind Shrine, let's talk about Freelancer. Freelancer may seem weak, but you'll be surprised to hear that it's honestly one of the stronger jobs. Freelancers have a stat line that is true neutral. Zeros across the board may seem bad, but it really is just the baseline. While most jobs get bonus stats, a lot have some serious negatives. Bards have -8 strength, white mages have -7 strength, then berserkers have -9 agility and -23 magic, for instance. When you're taking stuff like that into account, a neutral stat line is actually surprisingly good. The best nuance to Freelancer is something that I won't actually be able to use though. As you master jobs, their passive stats transfer to Freelancer. If you master Monk, Freelancer will get its huge +26 strength and +26 stamina, along with its dinky little +1 agility. This is all while ignoring the Monk's -23 to magic. Freelancer will stay at the neutral 0 magic baseline. If all you cared about were raw stats, the best jobs to master are Monk for strength and stamina, Thief for agility, and finally Summoner for magic, just for your own personal info there. This little stat nuance also applies to Mime as well. Generally, Mime is considered the magical version of Freelancer. But since I'm not using any other jobs, my stats are all at 0 for the whole game. The best part of Freelancer, for this playthrough, is that it has no equipment restrictions. Swords, daggers, axes, spears, whips, even the lowly bells are all on the table. Shields too, and since I can't double hand or dual wield, I'm going to be wearing shields for the whole game. All equipment, obviously, also includes rods. I, of course, will be smashing them. In the rare scenario that rods won't work, I've got a lot of other options to work with. Since rod smashing is on the table, this is a victory lap. Not that I'm going to complain about that after Biblos and White Mage only. Let's get down to it. Wing Raptor's already cooked. Wind Crystal jobs. It all started here with Monk and ended here with White Mage. I still never want to see that garbage thief ever again though. You know what, Goofy Chocobo Man? Please tell me about jobs. I clearly need the information. It figures that in the very last run of this series, I'd fat finger the yes option. Anyways, back in Tool? Let's grab swords and shields, establish a new item stockpile, then head up to Zoc one last time for the canal key. I'm straight into the canal, straight down a whirlpool into the Carlobos boss fight. Swords, shields, and potions reign supreme. Carlobos is getting Carla crushed as usual. Inside the ship graveyard, listen, I miss this silly little guy, alright? It's still technically an upgrade at the moment. Get back in here, flail. I'm out of the ship graveyard, only to be stopped by a giant woman. Seriously, look at her, she's huge. I sure hope she doesn't suck my soul out, haha. Instant haste, dude, nice. I will simply smack Siren around in human form with swords and the lowly flail. After Siren swaps to undead form, well, that's a job for dedicated high potion chuckers. Siren's crushed for the 21st and final time. Victory Road leads south to Carwin. Hello, Frost Rod. It's been a while. I'm buying longswords across the board for my mountaineering escapade. Just gotta slow down for a second to dodge these flowers. Really wouldn't want anyone getting poisoned, would we? But wouldn't you know it, Lena couldn't resist Magisa's dart. Lena stood idly by, now Magisa's standing idly by as Ferris did whatever she wanted. Time for battle! Oh, Blizzard Magisa, that's cute. Take this! I wonder what Forts is gonna think when he finds her. A vertical limit moment, probably. Why do I constantly think about that garbage movie? Why? Anywho, whip acquired. Hiryu is rescued by Lena, who sacrifices herself. Oh, she's just immediately cured of her poison with no consequences. Cool. Freelancers are always flying back to Tycoon Castle. I must pick up the fabulous secret treasures. The Ashura Container, the lowly Diamond Bell, and the Healing Staff. All of them will surely make an appearance, and will no doubt have their time to shine. Done with Tycoon Castle, down to Hwalt's Castle now. I'm snagging my silver specs from that dude's basement, then grabbing iron shields and Kempo geese. Gotta love how I can pick and choose my own armor. I risked the jackanapes in the castle basement, but I did manage to snag the elf cape. King Waltz, you gotta stop using the crystal's power. I tried to warn him, and now he's KO'd in the Waltz Tower basement like a buffoon. I'm just heading straight to the top. Gotta get my technically water crystal job, mime after all. But Gorula's blocking my path. Oh god, he just killed that guy. Self-defense situation number 1, the most common one of them all. A mange-ridden elephant attacks you. Simply use your whip to paralyze it, then beat it to death with your Ashura Container, Diamond Bell, and a longsword. That was a gorilla fight of all time. It was exactly the same as every other non-wind crystal job. Thank god I can pick up my job's crystal shard now. Or not, I guess. Fine, I guess I'll just grab all the other ones. Honestly, I think that the water crystal set may be the most powerful set of jobs in the game. Except for Berserker. Oh, I can't even be mad at him. He's just a silly little guy. He just hates everything. Now time to watch helplessly as the Mime Shard sinks. See you in 2 worlds, bucko. Sildra made it back just in time before Lena got sucked out to sea, and now she's gone. Well, that sucks. And here you can't go over mountains, so this sketchy teleport pad better take me to Karnak. I've made it. My body completely intact. Somehow. Ah, elemental rods, I've missed you. The Challenge Run police! Challenge Run Jill was real this whole time? Oh, thank god it was just a prank. The world's smartest man, Sid, bails me out. But I'm calling him Pseudo-Sid from now on, because he's a pseudo-intellectual. Ooh, Suze spotted. We've learned so much in this series, haven't we? Learning things just like farming on wild knacks is inevitable. You get to Karnak, then you head into the forest to grind for EXP and Gil. A very cozy experience. I've kitted everyone out with new gear now. 10 of each elemental rod and full armor sets. Now I'm into the fire ship. Pseudo-Sid over here is always so impatient. Doesn't he know the fire crystal's already doomed? Is he stupid? I could spend a bunch of time here grabbing the treasures like the Moonring Blade, but I'm truly on autopilot. I'm just racing to the end and facing off against Liquid Flame. The only chance that he had was in his liquid dreams. Oh, hey, Suze. Yeah, you can definitely stop that machine yourself. See? I told you the fire crystal was doomed. Karnak's secret treasures are mine for the plundering. I'm especially interested in this chest for the ribbon. That's right. Usually I only get brief usage out of the ribbon, but this is Bart's #1 headgear for the rest of the game now. Except when I swap to Mime and I lose access to it. The ribbon gives +5 all stats and makes you immune to most of the common statuses. That's best in slot, for real. You know I'm grabbing the Gauche and the Elf Cape. Always gotta grab the Gauche, even if I'm probably never gonna use it. I'm done. Let's mosey on out of here at a leisurely pace. What? You mean the place is gonna blow up? Oh my god, get out of the way, we're all gonna die! Ironclaw? Never heard of him. Fire Crystal Shard set #1. Ah, precious memories. Throwing ninja stars and domesticating all of the local wildlife. Geomancer also did things sometimes, I guess. And speaking of Geomancer, yeah, I'd like 4 diamond bells, please. You'll see why later. Oh yeah, and about a dozen frost, fire, and thunder rods, if you please. Karnak merchants have really been the MVP of these challenges. I'm heading straight to the bottom of the library. Take a look, it's in a book reading- oh my god, it's Ifrit. I'm gonna pay 2,250 gil in thunder rods to subjugate ya. Now to just use Ifrit's power to head straight to the basement. Book-based boss Byblos. Last time we danced, it was for 1 grueling hour. How about 1 hot fire rod instead? And you guys wonder why I resort to rod smashing all the time in this game. I'm sending mid back to Pseudo-Sid, all so they can fix up my fire ship. I called dibs. I took a fire ship detour to Jackhole for more Ashura containers and ninja outfits. The power of the weeb is strong in Final Fantasy V. Strong enough to crush the Black Flames. I am fully engaging autopilot here. This series has been very long, and I don't want to exercise even 1 more brain cell for this last lap. A grind session on these Black Flames always streamlines the games, and that's exactly what I'm looking for. But I'm also exactly looking for Death Sickles, because I am Grug incarnate. I headed south into Crescent Island to farm Harvesters until I got 4 of them. Assurus and Death Sickles are pretty comparable damage-wise, but you really can't beat the Death Sickles instant death proc. I finally entered Crescent, and the catapult sucked up my fire ship. Where's all that water going anyways? Only one place to go now. The Chocobo Forest. Hello, Black Chocobo, old friend. And old jobs. The sleepiest ranger and contender for the worst job, Bard. Bard's bad even in World 3. You can fight me about it. Flying back to the ancient library for the deets. Pseudo-Saiyid and Mid are here to summon up yet another sandworm. Surely, I've almost hunted them to extinction at this point, right? My Death Sickle's got a little test run on Sandworm, but I'm speeding this right along with some rod smashes. Goodbye, Shy Halud. Oh no, a Sandbear? Oh, please don't hit me! One last attempt at King Tycoon's hide-and-seek tournament. How could I lose? I knew exactly where he was. Little did King Tycoon know, he caused his daughters to Enkui. I was all in on From. I am a founding member of the Fromagers. But after that Season 3 finale, I think I'm out for good. Just like I'm out of the catapult on my new airship. Crayclaw's hanging on, but a single Thunder Rod takes him out. Just a little bit of back and forth now. Fly to Gone, fly back, fly to Tycoon, instantly kill Adamantoise, fly back, wait for those suits to fix up the ship, and now I can fly up. Flying up to destroy all machines. I'm breaking a single Thunder Rod for each of the side launchers. The engorged Soul Cannon is no match for Thunder Rod's power either. One Thunder Smash takes out the side launchers, so no more ult. Next, it's just relentless Thunder Rod smashing until it's all over. Not a wave cannon in sight. I return to the surface world. I briefly grinded Black Flames to hit the 200,000 gil mark. I'm buying everyone a Flame Ring from Istri, but somehow, I kinda doubt that I'm gonna need them. Regardless, now I can take on the Ronka Ruins. Oh hi King Tycoon, weird meeting you here. Archeoavis is simple now that I know how to handle him. 3 Thunder Rod smashes and then 1 Fire Rod smash takes out the first 4 forms. As for the revived form, well, the old ways are best. I've got Death Sickles and they've got Axe-style penetrating power. Archeoavis did a last-ditch Maelstrom, but one final smack from Bartz sealed the deal. Kryle's here committing crimes, then the main villain reveals himself. This guy's never gonna subvert our expectations, okay? Listen, his name is freaking X-Death. You know exactly what he's all about. The Earth Crystal shatters. This is a literal 50-50 split of disgustingly overpowered and complete garbage. Wild. X-Death and Galoof are gone, and it just now occurs to me that I've never been Freelancer this far into the game. I've always had jobs at this point, what am I gonna do? Freelancing the Bartz's World Meteor Tour it is. I mean, it's new, but the strategies are all old. Bomb Squad? That's getting Fire Rod smashed. Titan? Oh yeah, that's a Flame Rod smash right there. Sued sucking Chimera Brain? Well, that's also a Fire Rod. Just kidding, 2 Fire Rods. There's a new dawn for Freelancers in Galoof's world. Surely nothing bad will happen. Challenge Run Jill again? And it's real this time? Good thing that Galoof knows that every red loser stamp was always just for fun. Guard Gilgamesh getting Rod smashed, bye-bye loser. Death Sickles are back on for the meat grinder, that is the big bridge. But when Gilgamesh comes out again, well, so do the rods. Not even Shell can stop the rod smashing train. Okay, well maybe. 500 damage a smash is getting real low, but it's still more than enough. I'm barrier blasted to Regol. Oh, new weapons, and I can use whatever I want? Sleep swords make sense for giant interdimensional maws, but chain whips for everyone else? After all, they're back row okay, baby. Oh, and don't forget the high potions. You can never forget the high potions, even if it does require a brief grinding session. Just like you can't forget our little Moogle buddy. Clumsy guy's always fallen into that exact same hole. When will he learn? The underwater cave diving expedition is a go-go. I saw the wet rocks. I whipped the crabs. It was good. Even the blood slimes in here are getting wrecked by whips. I don't even have to run. But I'm not gonna whip the Tyrannosaur. I'm gonna throw a single Phoenix down at it and win instantly. The Moogle village is always a comfy little spot. Of course, I'll be pilfering all of their treasures. The Dancing Dagger. Yeah, no thanks, bro. Not this time around. Call up Kryle and get me the heck out of here. I'm racing through this game. Nameless Windrake's dying again. Let's speed this along so I can snort creatine with those werewolf boys. And let's not forget about seeing the Dawn Warriors. Cool backstory. Strength gear for +9 strength across the board acquired. Drakenvale is actually a nice little chance to replenish my gil. Getting lots of Dragon Fangs and that Hypno Crown's getting hawked. Oh yeah, and the Bone Mail's here too. Sure, whatever. Sentient Grass? Galoof's world really is crazy and alien, dude. I'll simply smash a rod to clear out the flowers. Then for the Dragon Pot itself, that sounds like a job for the Death Sickles. Instant Death finally comes out. Then one final rod smash for the remaining flowers. That's a way better strategy than standing around for an hour swinging flails. Back to ball from the place no one's ever returned from before. Except for me, 21 times. Cryle's sick for some reason. I never really understood this part. But green guy's just disappearing. Where'd he go? Cryle's Windrake eats the grass. Then Lena eats the grass. Everyone else, correctly, chooses not to eat the grass. Hey Sage Guido, you want to speed this along and hand over that Guardian branch? Fine. I'll just resume hunting your kind to extinction outside of Sergei Castle. That's all because I'm broke and I need some of Sergei Castle's new weapons. Poison axes sound about right, but I know in my heart of hearts I should have just bought greatswords. Or some of them there containers. Anywho, Zayza of the Dawn Warriors, how you doing, old buddy? You're getting attacked by Gilgamesh and Enkidu? That's not very chill at all. Let me take care of that. Parts of the gang are just smashing swords and poison axes on Gilgamesh, easily defeating him, right up until Enkidu shows up with White Wind. Back to the rods, boys, back to the rods. Oh look, Enkidu's just gone. And there goes Gilgamesh. Who could have predicted this outcome? Zayza, you built this yourself? I'm surprised by the integrity. Just kidding, I'm inside the barrier tower. The question, as usual, is am I gonna farm for reflect rings? Yes I am. And it's at this very moment that I definitely should have bought greatswords for everyone instead of poison axes. I guess I'm gonna sit in the back row and use my chain whips instead. 4 reflect rings really didn't take that long this time around. And I didn't even have to watch Cooking on High. Thank God. Let's skedaddle. Oh, Atmos, how nice of you to show up. Galoof eats a few comments, but the plan's already in motion. Everyone's up in the front row with sleep swords. 400 damage a hit is pretty mediocre, but inflicting near permanent sleep on Atmos is worth it. The only Galoof sucking he'll be doing is in his dreams. Bad luck, Zayza. I'll see you in the interdimensional rift. I am once again hating going through Sage Guido's cave. But you know, I could farm Staff of Lights to trash X-Death. Nah, not this time. Sage Guido, give me that Guardian branch, and I'm out of here. I'm emerging in more. I bought a little bit of new gear, but that's not important. I'm running through the forest grabbing the Morning Star. Hello, old friend. Then, after X-Death sets the forest ablaze, the mighty Aegis Shield is mine. Feels like it's been an eternity since I got to use one of these. Here's the first Night Sword too. Since freelancers can use all of the stuff, they often get to use the best stuff. But for right now, I'm actually downgrading to Death Sickles and Flame Rings. I'm headed into the first tree ever to exist. I've got to face off against 4. Huh? Back row Death Sickle swings yields the results I'm looking for. Reduced physical damage taken on me, and physical damage dealt to my enemies. I'm not looking for damage this time around. I'm simply a lowly fisherman, fishing for instant death procs. And I got all 4 of them in a timely fashion. No devastating magic this time, Crystals. Oh god, not X-Death, please, we're too young to die. Except for one guy. Galoof status thrown under the heckin' bus. Get that big old noggin in here, Cryle, you're my new best friend. It's finally time to take on X-Death. Half the Dawn Warriors remove the barrier. The barrier to numerous treasures for me. Normally there's only a couple of useful treasures per job, but for Freelancer it's all on the table. Ice Shield, Hayate Bow, Ice Brand, Kotetsu, Partisan, Twin Lance, including the lowly Excalibur. At least I would if that clown Gilgamesh didn't take it first. You gotta give it to me, I gotta have it. I gathered every one of these wacky weapons, so I'm using all of them. No matter how you slice it, spears are just hot garbage in this game. Lowly Dragooners can never, ever win. Unfortunately, that's true for Gilgamesh here. He transformed quickly. But oh my god, he's still got some fight in him. Look out, Ferris! She was done in with the Excalibur. Damn. How can I ever recover? All of that was a fun little deviation, but my best options are still exactly the same as when I first arrived in Karnak. Hello, X-Death. Are you ready to remember the Red Mage experience? I'm not keeping count this time, but I know I've got more than enough rods left. I'm loaded up with reflect rings, at least half the party is. The Tycoon sisters wanted the ruby-laden flame rings. See, I told you that women love a good crystal. Relentless rod smashing is go. X-Death's goose is getting cooked. Very few enemies in the game can stand up to relentless rod smashing. X-Death is not one of them. He's completely destroyed. Very quickly, in fact. We all know he's not done just yet, but I'll take a brief babe sneak peek on the way out. Yeah, Boko, let's go for a milk run. Wink. Wait, why did I say wink? Oh no, I've fallen into a hole. The antlion's got me trapped, but little does he realize he's trapped in here with me. Stay frosty. Ferris has rescued me and left her sister Lena behind again in the battle of Sagely Turtle versus Evil Warlock. You always bet on Evil Warlock. It just makes sense. Oh, tablets, and guess what? As a freelancer, I can use every single legendary weapon. Only 4 at a time, but that's in a post-Mime world anyways. I'm going straight to the desert for those tablets. Psych! Karnak calls. I ran there to restock on flame rods, and you must know why at this point. Surely. The Gargoyle Guardians are sometimes a problem, but not this time. 3 flame rods are smashed, and it's over. I'm in the pyramid. There are finally fabulous treasures in here for me to exploit. I'm heading to the bottom first for another ice shield. All it takes is 1 flame rod smash to destroy the feeble cursed ones. My power grows ever stronger. Now it's just straight to the top, crushing absolutely everything along the way. Ribbon number 2 is right here in this chest. Conveniently, right on the way to the top. Cryo now has +5 stats and immunity to most statuses. Now I'm picking up my tablet. Uh-oh, Bahamut's freed. That could very well be a large problem, but I'm easily distracted by my airship. Oh, and Lena's right here in the forest! Get back in the party, girl! Oh no, not her. Meluzine's magical barrier has a critical flaw. Consistency. Meluzine always starts weak to fire. That sounds like a job for those Karnakian elemental rods once again. Meluzine is flame smashed to death. She managed to slug Bartz exactly 1 time. Alright, Lena, we gotta cheese it! I got a bad feeling. I made it to the ship just in the nick of time. Bye-bye, most of the world. The first stop? Rigol, Border Town, of course. This girl in between the shops gives me ribbon number 3. 1 more stat-boosted character rocking the status-free lifestyle. I'm headed back to Boko for a lift to the sealed castle of Kuza. I'm dropping tablet number 1. Any of these are good, but let's take the classic Flame Lash. And the consistently taken Assassin's Dagger. Finally, the mightiest weapon of them all, the Excalibur. Except, when an enemy absorbs holy damage. Red Guy, Blue Guy, and Disgusting Gremlin Trio are released, but that opens up the rift for me. My business with Boko continues. Straight into Istri Falls for the magical lamp, and then back on my airship. The standard Phantom Village pilgrimage is getting delayed? I'm heading straight into the interdimensional rift right now? Yeah, you're very scary, Monsters of the Void, whatever. I'm not gonna fight anything. I'm just ripping straight into the forest to grab the 4th and final ribbon. May as well ribbon max while the getting's good, and I snagged the nearby Enhancer and Lilith Rod too. Why not? Just as quick as I'm in, I'm out. I'll be back later to finish the rift, of course, and it'll be so nice that I do it twice. Now to finally head to Phantom Village. Psych! Again? I'm smashing the island shrine to smithereens. The gargoyles are obliterated by my rod smashes. This chest right here in the open has a covert. I destroyed him easily with flame rods, revealing the Rising Sun Boomerang. I picked this up exclusively because Mime can also use boomerangs for some reason. I also snagged the mighty Beast Killer Whip. Funny when how all of the equipment's on the table, there's actually stuff to grab. Who would have guessed? Wendigo is a joke this time around. I've got everyone equipped with fabulous flame rings, and Bartz and Ferris even have ice shields. A flame rod smash negates the need to play the shell game at all. My prize is a counter with frost, but that's negated by the flame rings, and it's actually absorbed by ice shields. Wendigo is a completely free encounter. Well, except for the cost of all those rods. Tablet number 2 is acquired. The Fork Tower, and final obstacle to Mime, is now unlocked. I'm finally headed to Phantom Village, and I'm headed straight to free the Black Chocobo. Of course, I snagged the Thief Knife along the way. I'm flying to the Northern Desert to grind for a little bit. I'm simply far too low level to survive an Almagust. But what else is new? Seriously, Shell is one of the most overpowered abilities in this game, for real. This is a very convenient and practical time to grind, especially because this is for both Mime and Freelancer. With a few levels under my belt, and most importantly, 200,000 gil, I can finally return to Phantom Village. I'll take 4 pairs of Hermes sandals, finally. These are always good for permanent haste, but they also cover immunity to the time-based magic debuffs the ribbon does not. Nearly full status immunity is exceptionally powerful. I'll even take 4 black robes for even more rod-smashing power. Now the moment everyone's been waiting for. How will Freelancer tackle the Fork Tower with no access to magic at all? The ultimate irony exists within the Fork Tower. Bartz and Kryl smashed elemental rods to cast tier 3 magic, destroying Minotaur in the physical-only tower. Then the Tycoon sisters physically smacked Omniscient with lowly diamond bells in the magic tower. They were safely wrapped up in reflect rings while they unleashed the dongs. I think somebody flipped the script here, but a win's a win, and it beats waiting around for 16 hours. The catapult's unlocked, and my airship gains submarine capability. This was a professional job by the Suits. They exclusively use industry standard materials. No carbon fiber in sight. This is the Mime video, so it's straight to the Sunken Walls Tower. I'm running to the bottom and staring down famed mimic Go-Go. He's intimidated and leaves. The Mime shard falls out of his pocket. Mime is unique compared to every other job because you don't actually need to take the attack or item commands. Mimic is your core command. But you know, attack and item are all I have, so those are definitely getting put back on. Since you don't need to put attack on your bar, Mimes actually make the best endgame mages. You can slap on time magic, dual cast, and your magic flavor of choice. Yes, it's completely busted. But not for me. I've actually lost the ability to wear ribbons and the other dancer gear. I'm back to only being able to use mage gear, which I'm totally fine with because Mimes get access to daggers, boomerangs, and rods. Thank God that I can still use rods because that's the only strategy I've got. Could you imagine having to win with boomerang only? Yikes. And thank goodness shields are still here too. Love me a good shield. That's Mime recapped. About the only interesting thing that I can explain here is that I can smash a rod and then mimic that rod smash for more economical rod smashing. Because mimicking a smashed rod does not actually consume a rod. That definitely got some usage on the Istery Gargoyle Guardians, and it's definitely getting some usage down at the bottom on Leviathan. But first I gotta snag that Aegis shield. Everyone's now fully clad with either an Aegis or Ice Shield, and that's good enough for me. Now, to the bottom, I snag tablet number 3, and Red Guy gets got. Hey, sometimes you just get got. For Leviathan himself, I smash a single Thunder Rod and then mimic it with everyone else. That takes my rod consumption down from 4 a round to 1 for the whole battle. That is, unless I need to do something else like heal. Which I don't. I wore Hermes sandals and Leviathan did not last long. Not a tidal wave in sight, easy game, easy life. Now let's get that final tablet. The undead fear fire, so I'm swapping to flame rods. Gargoyle Guardians are getting cooked, along with every disgusting unknown down here. Lava walked, and that's a high potion tax paid in full. Here's tablet number 4. Oh no, not the gremlins! Time for a little experimentation, because I actually have no idea how this works, so let's learn together. I'm taking a rip on the magic lamp for Bahamut, and then proceeding to use Mime. This continues to blast Bahamut, and not use lamp charges. Interesting, and potentially very useful. Stick a pin on that for later. The 3 gremlins are usually iced by Odin, but half a dozen Bahamuts do the exact same thing. But I'm recharging the lamp on the way out anyways, and since I don't actually have good headgear, I'm buying some circlets for more magic power in the Dwarf Village. Very unexpected, but I am truly on autopilot here. I'm out of the trench, and that's all of the submarine stuff. Just a few more tasks before I can wrap up Mime. The first is Odin, who proved to only really be a problem with white mages. I'm smashing a single flame rod, then hasted Mimes mimic it over and over again. This was a little bit slower than I expected, but I've got 5 seconds left and I'm done. I'm backing out of Ball's basement to Phantom Village. Time to head back inside and grab those Lamia's tiaras that I missed. Confuse immunity granted. It's not as good as ribbons, but it'll do for Mime. Onto the Black Chocobo once again. I'm flying south to get to the Northern Desert as usual. Bahamut's on the chopping block. Fly on down here and let me smash your face in, coward. I've got my reflect rings on and flame rods. One is smashed and then the rest are getting mimicked. Bahamut's atomic ray gets reflected and then the rod smashing continues. Bahamut really didn't do much else until he mega flared himself to death. Since I'm in the area, I did the Phoenix Tower. It was tall and long, but nothing hasted mimic rod smashes couldn't handle. After I left the Phoenix Tower, I opted to make this as easy as possible on myself. I grinded a little bit more in the North Desert. Now, I'm ready for the Rift. I've already grabbed all the goods, so I'm headed straight to the forest to take on that big blue woman, Califisteri. If she's smart, she'll cast Reflect, but she didn't. She opened with Old instead. Hasted Flame Rod smashing is incredibly powerful. Then I cast Mimic, so I only used 1 rod and took out her entire health bar. That's one way to beat Califisteri. I'm snagging the coral ring on the way down to the Apanda, who dies in seconds to fire rod smashes. Moving on. Straight to the castle in the sky, and I'm going into the basement to give Azumagia the business. Darkspark whiffed, Roulette whiffed, then Azumagia got fire rod smashed to death. Catastrophe suffers the exact same fate. I'm beefy enough to survive the Earthshaker, and then I just start mimicking more rod smashes. Halicarnassus is up next. I'm ribbonless, so that ribbit's a little bit of a problem. Just kidding, all it takes is 1 round of mating kisses. That's trivial. 1 flame rod gets smashed, and wouldn't you know it, Mimic comes out once again. Halicarnassus survives? Gotta workshop that one a little bit, okay? But there's no time! Twintania's right here! Let's try out the Genie of the Lamp! Okay, so Mega Flare is strong, but the lamp counts as a physical attack for some reason, and I'm wearing Reflect Rings. Tidal Wave counters come out, and I'm promptly killed. A crumb of resistance isn't unexpected. Let's see, what do I got left in the tank? Well, I have exactly one Coral Ring. That's going on Bart's. I'll just have to put my faith in the Aegis Shields for the other girls. Rod Smashing, let's go. Not every Rod Smash is a Tidal Wave counter, but those girls really are on borrowed time. Even with the Aegis Shields, the girls quickly bit it. It's just Bart's now, who immediately got Mind Blasted and paralyzed. Then, Giga Flare atomized me. Okay, what else do I got? Well, surely the Rod attack counts as magic, right? Oh, heck yeah, they do. This has gotta be my out. I perform a basic attack with a Rod, and then Mega Flare counters come out. But once again, Atomic Ray is here to ruin my life. Atomic Ray's weird. It gets reflected like it's magic, but it hits Twintania like a physical, which causes him to do a Tidal Wave counter. This attempt looks like it's doomed, but I'm gonna try anyways. There's the Giga Flare charge, but I was primed and ready this time. 3 charges of the lamp, non-mimicked, for a free kill. How embarrassing. Listen, I'm on the cusp of victory and I really don't feel like bashing my head against the wall. I ran myself out of the rift, I hopped back on Boko and recharged the lamp. Now, where were we? Oh yes, the Crystal Dimension. Gilgamesh gets Rod Smashed. To death, bro. And here's the Necrophobe of the Hour. Barriers are a big problem for Rod Smashing with that permanent reflect, but Mimics clearly have a solution. I'll rip the first charge of the Magic Lamp for Bahamut. Then I'll just mimic Bahamut until the barriers are all gone. Once they're all gone, well, Necrophobe's on borrowed time. Huge elemental weaknesses? Yeah, 6,000 damage Rod Smashes with haste. Ain't nothing standing up to that. Gilgamesh shows up before Necrophobe does anything at all. If Gilgamesh is just gonna stand there, he can get blasted with my mimicked fire rods too. Get me the heck out of here. I've reached the end as Mimes. I'm sitting at level 47. The grind was fast and easy, okay? My brain was completely shut off. I'm running into X-Death, and he turns himself into a tree! Kinda weird, but alright, guy. Oh god, he's become even more powerful! He sucked up everybody! Even those little Moogles! It's all over. There's nothing left. How will we ever recover? Oh my god, it's Dorgan here with a little booty slap. And the rest of the Dawn Warriors. And Lena's dad. Now I'm a little motivated. I think I will choose Fire Rod Smash. Then I will Mimic. Just kidding. Instant white hole. Too bad the plan's already in motion. Thankfully, the next turn rolls around fast thanks to Hermes Sandals. I can't mimic my way out of white hole. Phoenix down into Gold Needle. That means I have to smash a new Fire Rod. 750 gil just right down the drain. A Sucker Punch from X-Death means it's safe to mimic again. 1 broken rod turns into 5. My wallet thanks you, famed Mimic Go-Go. Kryl then gets murked by Holy. Yeah, Holy's a pretty good spell. 1 more Phoenix down, except another instant white hole. Damn, is X-Death wearing Hermes Sandals too? How can he? He doesn't even have feet. That puts me on the back foot. Time for a double Phoenix down. God, do I ever love Aegis Shields so much it's unreal. The gang's back recovered, at least as much as I care to at the moment. The Rod Smashing resumes. White hole status blocked? The Rod Smashing continues. Straight into Meteor. Oh my god, why? Well, the Tycoon sister survived. Lena even ate an immediate Sucker Punch afterwards. This is really risky, but I'm ripping an Elixir and reviving Bart's. Yeah, it was definitely risky, alright. Here's another Meteor. We solo Bart's now, boys. We dead now, boys. How embarrassing, but X-Death is always a bit of a gong show. Especially when he opens up with White Hole. Lena's healed up, and yeah, it's time for Rod Smashing again. Except this time, I'm leaving Mimicry behind. The classic Backlog bustin' strategy. Dedicated high potion shockers, let's go. I'm doing a little half and half. Half the team's throwing potions, half the team's Rod Smashing. At the very least, the Aegis Shield blocks the Petrify from White Hole, so all I have to do is revive Kryl. But if everyone's healthy, they can all go back to Rod Smashing. This time, X-Death behaved himself. He mostly just throws some tree-based fists and ate the flame rods. No, Void, why? Neo X-Death emerges from his tree chrysalis or something. I don't know what happened. I don't know what's going on. I used the magic lamp once for Leviathan. That damage is very unimpressive. There's no way I'm gonna mimic that. But here's Odin. He's got a thirst for that lady in the back. I'm continuing to work through the lamp charges all the way to Earthwall. But my mimes are surprisingly resilient. They're dodging a lot of physicals. This late in the game, I'm taking no risks. Earthwall will keep me totally safe. Now, Almagust is about to come out, but I got 2 elixirs off just in the nick of time. Kryl didn't survive anyways. Rats. Oh well. Did you know that you can just mimic elixirs? Everybody gets an elixir. Except I had to revive Kryl, so it broke the elixir train. Grand Cross connects and, just tiny Ferris, huh? That's actually fine with me. Live your tiniest little life as you continue to smash full-sized flame rods. Huh. It kinda occurs to me now that maybe I should have made all of my white mages tiny as soon as I got holy. No, I didn't need even more survivability. Nothing is scary until the next set of spells. I've got shields and Earthwall at full health. The rod smashing continues. Mimicked, of course. Almagust comes out again, and that's 1 elixir consumed, and then the rest of them are getting mimicked. Very economical. Back to the rods, boys! Back to the rods! Right up until Grand Cross arrived. I've had worse, but I'd better deal with that Petrify. But before long, Exdeath kinda just keeled over. That's Final Fantasy V completed using exclusively Mimes. At least, as soon as I could get them. But the remnants of the void are sucking me in! It's a time warp! Was it all a dream? Or am I experiencing the worst deja vu of my life? After just beating Mime only, Freelancer only is simply a formality. I've got the same stat block and even better equipment options like ribbons. But I said I'd do 22 jobs, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Let's get the show on the road by blasting Odin to next week with hasted flame rods. Yeah, not a problem at all. Freelancer rod smashing is a lot less economical than Mime, but I've got flame rods out the wazoo, so who cares? Freelancer is actually better at smashing rods since my ribbons are boosting my magic stat even further beyond Mimes, and they're lowly. Lamia's tiaras. Straight out of ball, straight back to my airship. Now to head northwest and submarine my way into Istory. Gargoyle Guardians are no match for smashed flame rods. There's actually loads of loot in Istory Falls, so I snatched all of it. Of course, all I really care about is the second Aegis shield, but I'll take the Artemis Bow, Enhancer, Rune Blade, and Titan Axe too. Why not? Loaded up with Thunder Rods, I'm snagging that tablet. Then I'm watching Red Guy get murked for the last time. I wonder what secrets he held. But he couldn't have been that strong if Leviathan beat him. Thunder Rod smashing is extremely potent here. The only thing I need to worry about is tidal waves, which, blessed be, just never showed up. Leviathan just used worthless entangles that whiffed because of my Hermes sandals. One more dungeon down. Since I'm submarining, may as well trash the trench. The last Gargoyle Guardians are destroyed by fire rods. I'm in. The lowly unknowns suffer exactly the same fate. It's okay, it's all a net positive gil gain. At the bottom, ooh, a tablet. Wait, what? My strategy hasn't changed at all. I used 3 charges of the lamp to destroy these 3 gremlins in a trench coat. That's what you guys get for trying to sneak into the Sonic movie with only 1 ticket. I recharged the lamp on my way out, and I'm almost ready for the rift. Oh right, I can actually use every legendary weapon. In the sealed castle of Kuza, I'm just working down the line, dropping a tablet and grabbing 3 weapons. Wash, rinse, repeat. 12 weapons to beat Enuo. Yeah, I'm totally gonna use them all to beat Exdeath. Do you guys think Karnak existed when they beat up Enuo? Flame rods probably would have banished him into the void easily. Back to Phantom Village for the Black Chocobo, then I'm taking out Bahamut once again. Reflect ringed up, the Dragon King doesn't stand a chance. Everybody's got some flavor of shield on, and Lena's got the Apollo's harp? Take this! Oh, come on, why do I even bother? Back to the rods, everyone, back to the rods. Yeah, so Bahamut did like a handful of attacks. I busted him down to his Mega Flare bracket, and he roasts himself. Dragonlets, when will they learn? All that's left is the Phoenix Tower, but I'm gonna make sure to do a brief grind session in the desert. I'm trying to enjoy my victory lap here, remember? I totally could have gone and stolen prism dresses from Parthenopes with my thief knife, but I just kind of forgot. Hindsight's 2020. Surely, I won't need the Confuse immunity. Surely. I'm fed up with this world. I'm restocking on rods and all of the consumables I can buy. Now I'm heading into the interdimensional rift for the last time. This series started at Tycoon, and it's ending here too. We've come full circle. I've already grabbed the goods, so it's just heading to that mysterious tree hole to face off against Califisteri. What a mighty crystal. It's surely got some mysterious magical powers. Oh, it allowed Califisteri to see into the future and get a clue. Unlike in Mime only, Califisteri actually put on Reflect. I guess I really do have to resort to the 12 legendary weapons after all. Just kidding! Good thing I grabbed the Beast Killer from the Island Shrine, right? Despite clearly being a woman, she's also a magic beast type enemy. Oh, the Holy Lance, of course! But then I'm forced to remember that lances suck. Dragoons never win. What was I thinking? Quick, Bart's the Yoichi's bow? Sure, that'll do. That's all the weapons I care to use, since the other ones honestly kinda suck. The Tycoon Sisters are passing turns, ready to throw high potions if things do go south. But Bart's with his Yoichi bow, and Kryl with the Beast Killer whip, well, whipped Califasterian into shape. Get going, lady. One Rift boss down. Back to the rods, gang, because book-based boss Panda is up next. But first I'm grabbing the only coral ring in the cave and praying that I don't have to use it. A panda is super weak to fire and I will always exploit it. Hasted flame rod smashing it is. You can put up as many protects as you like. A panda's dead in 4 turns. Ooh, more treasures. The Thor's hammer? Sure, I could use that. Azumagia, can your body stand up to hasted flame rod smashing? Not really. He also kind of just stood around and did nothing. That is, right until Doom showed up. It's pretty scary, but it didn't even tick down once. Save point acquired. The mighty catastrophe. Do I need to adjust my strategy? Nope. I can survive like 3 Earthshakers, and he did exactly 1. Goodbye. Halicarnassus, you've kissed me for the last time. The ribbit whiffs. Thank you, ribbons. Kinda weird that that's happened twice. Really should have been 3 times, but I actually forgot to pre-toad in Black Mage only. Anywho, hasted flame rod smashing is pretty good. Who could have predicted this? But I finally encountered a problem. The greasy Twintania. Rod smashing counts as physicals, but wait, I actually have holy weapons. If I had 4 coral rings, this would probably be free, but man, the Holy Lance is a piece of trash for real. Twintania is a problem. The answer, as usual, comes from that wacky little town Karnak. Just like with Omniscient, the lowly Diamond Bells make a final hurrah. Reflect ringed up, Diamond Bells count as magic attacks, causing Mega Flare counters. Twintania's getting the... The bells only deal like 200 damage, but Mega Flare counters bring that to a grand total of 5,000 per round. It's only about 11 rounds of attacking before Twintania roasts himself. So long, problem child. Never talk to me again. I'm entering the Crystal Dimension for the final time. Also the last Gilgamesh fight for the final time. This fight's free, so I smacked him around with legendary weapons. You know, I gotta be careful, I may actually run out of rods to smash. I'm touching the light to reveal Necrophobe. Necrophobe is a direct counter to my core strategy. He's so much of a direct counter that I actually skipped him in Red Mage only. What could Freelancers possibly do? Well, the answer is just to meat grinder it with legendary weapons, of course. I've got the Defender from the Fork Tower, the Excalibur from the Sealed Castle, and 2 Enhancers. 2 rounds of attacking is all it takes for the first barrier to fall. Clearly these weapons aren't created equal, so I'm putting the Tycoon Sisters on high potion chucking duty. That should buy Bartz and Kryl enough time to work the barriers down. As barriers fall, the damage slows down. This fight is hardest at the very start. Only 1 barrier is left. I prepped for Necrophobe himself by healing up, putting everyone into the back row, and re-equipping Flame Rods. This took long enough that the final barrier actually ran out of MP. But that's fine, I'll just finish it off now. It's time to face off against Necrophobe. Flash is cute, especially when it whiffs because of my ribbons. The Fire Rod smashing begins. Freelancers in the back row with shields are surprisingly beefy, so I'm not scared at all. I took a few hits from Necrophobe, but he can't stand up to my barrage of rod smashes. Gilgamesh is already here. Well, I'm not going to keep wasting rods, so back to the legendary weapons it is. This is it. The final battle with X-Death. I may have been a little overzealous with all of my grinding. I'm sitting here at level 49, but I wanted to finish strong and shut my brain off. It's been borderline relentless Final Fantasy V for like 6 months, okay? You gotta let me have this. X-Death is sucking up everything left in the world, but not if the Dawn Warriors have anything to say about it. I mean, X-Death already did it, you guys. You're like a little late. Oh, thank God. King Tycoon is here to push back the void. It's my turn to set the forest on fire, X-Death. I have no fear of white holes, or the strongest magic in the game. And it looks like X-Death realized this because all he tried to do was punch me and whiff twice. You gotta love shields in this game. The rod smashing continued right up until Meteor came out. Except Meteor focused all of its damage on Lena? Bro, does X-Death hate animals or something? One Phoenix down, with a couple of more rod smashes and phase 1 is over. Neo X-Death rolls onto the scene. Let this be our greatest battle. X-Death, just stop trying to punch me, it's never gonna work. 3 lamp charges are coming out. Bahamut, Leviathan, and Odin. The same as always. Odin's really got it out for that lady in the back. Then I'm giving a fun little elixir to Lena. Kryl got slugged, but I've got an elixir for that too. Right at the end, I'm not taking any risks. I'm going through the lamp charges for Earthwall again. But before I can get to Earthwall, Almagest comes out and whiffs everyone but Kryl. Alright, guy, you tried. I've got an elixir for Kryl, and then Earthwall's up finally. Let's start the party. The relentless flame rod smashing begins. I've got over 30 rods left, this should be totally fine. My shields continued to block the few physicals that came out, and that's really all that happened. Turns out that relentless, hasted rod smashing is pretty darn strong. That's Final Fantasy V completed using exclusively Freelancers. Really gotta emphasize the free for this one. Final Fantasy V using exclusively Mimes and Freelancers was completed in a collective 10 hours, 28 minutes, and 41 seconds. Yeah, really fast. Just what I wanted from a victory lap. Since this is technically the Mime video, let's start with that. There's just not a whole lot of time to showcase Mime. You just get it way too late in the game. The equipment options are pretty weird. Boomerangs are usable by thieves, ninjas, and mimes, so that's cool, I guess. Doesn't help that there's only 2 of them in the game. Mimes losing out on ribbons does actually hurt a surprising amount. They're just the best headgear in the game, bar none. Mimic is an interesting and incredibly powerful ability. You can do some truly goofy things like use an elixir and mimic it endlessly. I thought about doing it during Necrophobe to run the barriers out of MP, but Bahamut is actually pretty darn strong, so I adjusted. Mime is just like Freelancer, where you get passives and stat bonuses from the other master jobs. So why would you use Mime over a Freelancer? Well, Mime actually excels as the endgame magic job. You don't need to take attack or item commands as Mime, so you can free up those slots for your magic flavors of choice, while also grabbing dual cast. But if you're going that far, well, you're gonna make the interdimensional rift look like a joke. Mime being the magic version means that Freelancer is the better endgame physical offering. You have one less ability slot, but there's a lot of synergy for passives. Once you've mastered Ninja, you get innate dual wield. And once you master Monk, you get innate counter. Then you can take X-Fight with Magic Sword and dual wield the strongest Night Swords in the game to crush absolutely everything. But you know, as a Freelancer, smashing Flame Rods is all on the table. That's all I gotta say. I've completed every single Final Fantasy V single job challenge on the Pixel Remaster. This has been a very long road, and sometimes it was a slog, but it's always beautiful to see a project through to the end. Thank you all for watching, and an especially big thank you to my Buster boys for your additional support. We'll see ya when we see ya.